right, we're back for our second episode 2. We don't have a name for this yet. I try to come up with some different things, but if the three of you have any ideas when we get started, we'll we can talk about those. But we're back again with Tom Pincince, the interim athletic director, alongside three of our phenomenal student athletes, and Megan Brawner from our women's cross country and track team, Tyler Rowe from men's basketball, and Mariana Espino from our women's swimming and diving team. Thank you, first of all, to the three of you for joining us. This is pretty cool.
Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, we're going to start off with just getting a little bit of a story of how you got to Central and how you got here. I think we have three, again, very unique stories. Our first episode, we had three really unique stories. So if you could just give us, Mariana, we'll start with you. How did you end up coming from Mexico City, where you are right now, and end up swimming at CCSU?
It's actually a fun story because I graduated and I was looking forward to just go and do my college career outside my country. And I already have a couple offers here, good scholarships here, but I didn't want them because my goal was to go outside. So my ex-swimming coach offered me to go live with her daughter to Connecticut. She practiced in the jail club swim. So I was there practicing with them, and I was living with them and everything just to try to look for a scholarship. And bail actually just knocked to the door, like the house I was living in. So that was funny because I wasn't expecting him at all. So his friend with my coach's daughter husband. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was basically it. He knocked at the door and I was there and I talked to him. I talked a little bit about my career and everything, what my goals were, and that was it.
The rest is history, as they'll say.
Yeah.
Right? Now, Megan, you came from close by, and anyone who follows your career, and I think your entire hometown does, as with I mentioned the New London Day article earlier. As soon as we found out that spring athletes would have the opportunity to come back and compete if they wanted to, how did you end up at Central?
So my assistant track coach was friendly with Coach Blake. And when I told him my junior year that I might want to continue running in college, he put me in contact with him. So it's all about networking. So I met Coach Blake that way. We started emailing back and forth. And then I did my official visit, and it came down between Central and Temple University. And I just went with Central because I liked the team atmosphere more. I felt like it had more of they had more group goals. And at Temple, it was very individual based, which I didn't like, because the whole point about running is setting team goals, working together. It's very unique in that way. So when I did my official visit, I just connected with all of the women, and it was really special. And then Coach Ray and Coach Blake were great from the start.
How does Coach Blake, being so successful himself, he's almost my age. He's not quite as old as I am. But I think anytime he's running in a pack, he's the best runner in that pack, and just an incredible athlete. How does that play a role in someone deciding to come run for him?
I think it adds another level of trust, because if he knows what he's doing as an athlete who's in the same sport as you, I think it adds excitement and trust, because you're like, okay, if he's seen success on an international level, then he'll be able to guide you through your collegiate career and hopefully put you on that next step.
At one point in time, I don't know if he still does, but he held the world record for the treadmill marathon.
So I believe he still does.
So he jumped on a treadmill and ran for 26.2 miles. And one day I came into the office. He was downstairs in the old rec room, and he was on the treadmill, and he was running so fast. And he looked at me, and I said, I just can't believe how fast you're running on the treadmill. And he said, well, I'm just cooling down right now. Right now. So that's how fast he was running in cool down. So T-Row, how about in cool down? Yeah. T-Row, how about you? How did you end up at Central? You have a unique story yourself.
Yeah, so prior going into WestCon this summer, I actually worked out and played pickup with a few people that played there. Austin, Tyson, Joe, Sean, and the rest of the team. So I kind of had a feeling that I felt like I could play with them. And I said to myself, do what I need to do at WestCon, and everything else will take care of itself. So going into that spring, I talked it over with my mother. I said, hey, Mom, I think this is probably the right time. I did everything I needed to do at the D3 level. So I said to myself, I want to challenge myself, see what I could do at the D1 level. Ended up going there, got accepted. Saw Coach Marshall probably right before school started. I talked to him. I said, hey, name's Tyler Rowe, transfer. I want to walk on. Pretty much he told me what I need to do, and then the rest is history.
And you come from a pretty decent high school program in Windsor.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So, Coach, I've known Coach Smith for forever. Before I worked here, I worked at another school in the area, and Coach Smith's son Keon played on the team when I was working there. So I've known him for a long time.
Today's his birthday too.
Is it?
So yeah, I told him happy birthday. So that's a legend right there. I look up to him as like another father. He's done so much for me, not only for me but for the community and for everybody else as well.
So what have you guys been up to in the last couple of weeks? We'll get to academics in a minute, but I mentioned in the last talk, I have 3 daughters, so they're all learning from home right now. What have you guys been doing to stay busy? Mariana, we'll start with you again these last couple of weeks.
I've been just enjoying my family because it's just hard to see them during the year. So I've been trying to stay active, just watching videos of like home workouts and stuff like that. It's hard of being occupied and doing stuff to stay at home and not do like any practice or like anything.
You probably can't go anywhere and swim right now, right?
No. Those, yeah.
Megan, you can go out and run though, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the beauty of running. No equipment needed. So
what else have you been up to?
I listen to a lot of podcasts. So BBC, Global News, and then if I want something less depressing, I listen to, it's also produced by the BBC. It's called People Fixing the World. And, that really gives you some hope when all you hear is depressing news.
Yeah. Tyler, what about you?
Spending time with family. It's just a nice day. I'll get some fresh air, go to the park, play some basketball. Been kind of playing a little bit of time into stocks. So, like, I don't know if you ever heard of an app called Robinhood. So I've been messing around with that a little bit, just trying to figure out how I can make some more money. So that's how.
If you figure that out, let me know.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Everybody eats.
What have you been staying in touch with your teammates, friends? And what ways do you guys do that? Mariana, I'll start with you.
Yeah, we have actually like a group chat, and all day we're all talking all day, and sometimes we also like have this type of meetings or like just like via FaceTime or stuff like that, just to see each other and be like more, I don't know, I want to say interactive, but yeah.
That swimming group chat would terrify me. I mean,
yeah.
happy not to be a part of that. Megan, how about your teammates?
So we actually got together this afternoon on, it's not FaceTime, but on Snapchat, you can do a giant group video. So we did that. And then I also talked to a lot of them individually, which is nice because I feel like when you have those group chats, catching up with people can get lost. So it's nice to catch up one-on-one too each week.
It's confusing because you don't know where to look. Because when you're talking,
Yeah.
I look at you, but I'm looking off the screen that way. If I look at you, so I'm trying to make it so that I can see. Tyler, how about you and your teammates?
We have a group like group chat, also Snapchat as well. So like we'll send videos and pictures from time to time. So I feel like we're all busy, but we do have the time to stay in touch here and there. So
well, we should all be busy with schoolwork, right?
Yes, sir.
How about the transition to online learning and doing it this way? What's it been like? We'll go in reverse this time. Tyler, we'll start with you.
I mean, for me personally, I'm a graphic design major, so all my stuff is pretty much on my computer, like InDesign, Photoshop, Dreamweaver. So it's been an easy process. I'm taking photography, so like I said, I'll usually get some fresh air and take pictures. And then my marketing class is just like a WebEx meeting. So pretty much it's been very chill. Nothing stressful. Very easy right now.
Megan, how about you?
So I have to go on WebEx for 2 of the classes, which I actually like. I wish more of my classes had done that because I learn better when we have discussions. So, and I just miss seeing everybody's faces. At least on WebEx, if they don't put the screen up, you can hear their voice.
Yeah.
It's kind of like being in class again. But other than that, I've just been trying to get ahead because with everything being online now, you can kind of jump ahead. But yeah, I mean, WebEx is pretty great. I've never used that before.
No, I've had more of these kind of calls in the last 2 weeks than I've ever done before.
Yeah.
We've been meeting regularly with staff, with coaches, with people, people within the university, emergency teams, all those kind of things. So we've done, we have like 3 or 4 of these a day. I have one that's a phone call, which is nice because you can actually step up and walk around while you're doing it.
Right.
But Mariana, how about you and the distance learning? How's it going for you?
For me, I mean, I'm also a graphic design major, so for my design classes, it's been fine. But for some of my other classes, like management or history and stuff like that, it's like harder because I like that face-to-face interaction on the classroom. But other than that, I mean, I've been trying to keep up and just stay in touch with my professors.
I have a good one for you. I'm teaching public speaking this semester.
Oh.
So we have to do that.
Yeah.
How does that go?
What's that?
How does that go? Is it going well?
What we had done is those first 2 weeks, when we thought it was only going to be 2 weeks, I had put together a plan with homework and assignments and those kind of things. On Monday, we'll actually meet this way for the first time.
Okay.
They'll have one more speech to give, so we'll actually have them give their speech in this format with everybody, and we're going to see how it goes. And other than that, they would have to record it and send it to me, and I'd rather do it in this type of setting. But when you throw 25 people on and they have to speak, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's it is what it is. They gave their first in-person speech the Monday before this all happened. So we actually had about half of our grading done already. So we'll adjust and we'll figure it out. But it's certainly not ideal because this isn't public speaking. This is mass comm. This isn't public speaking. So, but we'll figure it out and we'll see how they do. We have a preferred social media app during all this. What do you got, Mariana?
Sorry, what?
What's your preferred social media app during all this?
I think Instagram and TikTok lately.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my favorite right now.
T-Rowe, you're a TikToker?
I need to start messing around with that. No, I've seen a lot of videos and it's actually caught my attention. But I haven't made a TikTok, but Instagram and a little bit of Twitter as well.
Okay. All right. Megan?
I would have to say Snapchat because I can see people's faces.
Okay.
It's kind of like being there. It's
Yeah.
the closest I can get.
Yeah. All right. It's good. T-Row, if you had said TikTok, we were going to have you do something. I said, I
mean, hey, if you want, I'll do it. I'm not afraid or shy.
I said this in the previous chat that we did, that my 10-year-old and I will scroll through for about 10 minutes and look at the different TikToks, and all of a sudden the inappropriate ones will pop up, and I got no idea that they're coming, and my 2 teenagers behind me will just start laughing hysterically because they know everything that's coming as soon as they hear the song. So how about working out stuff? We talked to Mariana and Megan a little bit. Tyler, how about you? And you're not supposed to be on the basketball court now, by the way, unless you're, although I've seen you play defense, so 6 feet is probably usually how you did it, right?
Social distance. Right. right. Nah, so honestly, the parks have been empty. And it's just been me. So what I'll do is just get some shots up. And there's actually a park around the corner from me with a soccer field, so I'll run around that as well. And Coach E sent out like a lifting program.
Yep.
So I'm gonna start that this weekend.
Okay. All right. And then my last question, when we do this before we get to, if there's anything you guys want to say on the end, is I want you to give me one teammate that you couldn't be in quarantine with, and why.
What?
And be nice and appropriate. We'll see who's got.
I'll go second.
You'll go second. Mariana, how about you? Actually, well, let's change it. Let's go to a teammate that you would like to be in quarantine with, so that we don't upset anybody on there, and tell me why. And then when we stop recording, you can give me the answer to the other one.
I think I'll start with my roommate right now, just because it's Alex Lindgren. Just
Okay.
because I know her and I get along pretty well with her, and she's a really good friend of mine. So I'll just stick with her just because I know.
You know it would be fine.
Yeah.
Megan, how about you?
Can I pick one person from the women's cross and one person from men's cross?
Sure.
Okay, great. From the women's team, I would probably pick Angie, and only because we're both goofy.
I knew that was coming, but that's all
So
right.
we just laugh at a lot of silly things together. So I'd probably pick her. And then on the men's side, I would pick Sean O'Shaughnessy because we talk about politics a lot. So we could have debate. And
Did you see Sean's picture on the CCSU Twitter earlier
Angie
today?
sent that to all of us, yeah.
With the sunglasses on. That must have been from orientation, I think, right?
I think it was. He loves all of that stuff.
Okay.
He likes representing, so.
T-Row, how about you?
Me personally, I'd probably say my guy Miles, just because he's very laid back, very chill. So there's not a lot really to, like, we don't do a lot, so it's pretty much just chill. We'll probably play 2K, and it's never boring pretty much when we're together. So that's probably the person I would pick.
All right, and I'm gonna ask our two. Well, they're seniors, but not really seniors. First, and Megan, I'm going to start with you. Plans after college. I've heard this might be interesting.
So, as in this
Career.
upcoming year?
No, because you're still going to be here for a year, right?
Right.
You still have cross country.
Yes.
Still have a
and
cross country
outdoor.
season, and then outdoor. After college, what are your plans?
So I'll actually leave for boot camp next May for the Army.
Wow.
Yes. So I'll have half my master's done
Okay.
in strategic communication, and then off to boot camp, and then I'll serve.
T-Row, how about you? You're not gonna beat that. We should have let Megan go last.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, what could I say? I actually had a few things in mind. One was this spot where I could be a basketball trained like specialist, working with kids. So that's one option. I do want to continue playing basketball, so that's my goal, to play pro. So I actually know a league called the TBL. It's the up and coming league, and I'm looking to try out for that. So once everything, the virus and everything goes away, I'll start looking more into that as well. And then also with the graphic design, with my major, I actually have a contact, and I'm actually looking to shadow, but like I said, with the virus going on, I can't really do much. So I do have a couple options.
All right. And Mariana, for the next couple of years with this graphic design major, you're going to be helping out and volunteering in the athletic department with graphics and designs and those kind of things. I always get a kick out of Maddie Garber was the same way, that swam for us. She was a graphic design major, and when she left, she was like, "Oh, I could have helped you for 4 years." So there's opportunities there, opportunities to get some experience, to do some things, so that
Okay,
T. Rowe, you want to volunteer and help out, we're more than happy to have you.
Yeah, okay. I mean, if we're talking money, I'll support. I'll support. No, I'll just play.
All right. Anything that you guys want to add before we finish up? Anything that you want to say during this time?
Honestly, just everybody stay safe, stay healthy. I'm just grateful to be here, because I know there's a lot of things going on. A lot of people are dying. A lot of people are sick, and for us to be here and be able to talk and have this discussion is a blessing. So everybody just be out there and stay safe.
All right. Thank you guys very much for taking the time. And I know there may have been a little nerves, but I certainly appreciate this. You guys have many amazing stories to tell, and we have some phenomenal student athletes at CCSU. And, to hear you guys tell your stories, to hear you guys talk about your aspirations, to hear you guys talk about your teammates and how you feel about them and the relationships that you have with them. And, the role models that you all have become for the younger kids around this area. And, we mentioned that today was going to be finish the race day, and it just didn't have a chance to happen. But, you guys are able to do so many things. And, we look up to you. We're proud of you. And again, I thank you guys for taking the time to meet with us. And if you need anything, please reach out. You know that we're always here for you. I sent out an email earlier today. Hopefully you guys all got it or checked your email. Everyone nods yes. But if you need anything, please reach out and let us know. But, we're happy to see you guys and to keep in touch. And thank you once again for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.